Hello, this is Jeremy Johnson, and this is a brief history on robotics for my Period 6 APUSH history class. This is the Deus Ex Machina, which was a part of mythology to represent a robot coming from on high in order to solve all of the world's problems. It's been a used stereotype for many different playwrights and movies throughout the years, and is symbolic in a way. This here is a golem, which is another part of mythology, ancient mythology, of a automaton that was made out of basically anything. Animated objects is the bottom line for this type of meaning. The little clay golem made by someone. This represents the first built robot. It was made using water. It was musicians playing on some sort of boat. This was a little robot that was made that could write characters, be programmed to write characters up to 40. It's kind of like those fortune-telling machines. This one was mostly this one was a play that first featured robots, the first one in actual movies and playwrights. This is a little robotic toy from Japan in the 1800s that could serve tea, shoot arrows, etc. I show this because robots are basically automatons that were made by humans. So this is basically representing a story of a automated creation. It really puts a image in someone's mind for what automatons do, and it's really something to represent a fear, which I'll later explain on. Roomba! Robots helping people. This represents a chasm that if a robot looks too much like a human, it will repel anyone who, it's not very good looking to most, to the general audience. It comes off as creepy and strange. It's something that was that people, scientists, recently learned to avoid, to make things either super realistic or kind of simple looking. If it neither went into either side, it fell into a hole that just repels people. An example of the other side would be ASIMO over here. I'll talk about him later. This Terminator represents a deeply rooted fear through sci-fi that people have of robots taking over the world, even though highly unlikely for that to ever happen. It's really a deep-rooted fear in some of the older audiences, which is, a concern that really hinders the process of making new technology in robotics. And it really is something that affects a whole bunch of mediums and decisions. However, children do not actually fear robots as much and see them more whimsically. And now here's a video on the ASIMO.
ASIMO, look at me. Oh, there you go. All right, mate. Toy duck. Yes, that is correct. It is a toy duck. Next, I want ASIMO to learn something new. I've brought along two objects for him to identify. One is his grandpa from the 1950s, and the other is a Mini Cooper, the British one. So, he's never seen these before. He's learning these from scratch. So let's see what he makes of this. ASIMO.
A known object.
Grandpa.
Grandpa, say, yes, this is correct, or no, this is wrong.
Yes, this is correct.
Okay.
That means he's learned it. Now, we'll try that out later on. I'll go back with Grandpa and we'll see if he remembers who he is. Next, the Mini Cooper. ASIMO.
Grandpa.
And now, it's not a toy car, remember? First, Dr. Gurik taught him to recognise an ordinary chair.
Learn what this flat thing is.
But this time, ASIMO is not just learning the shape, it's looking at certain generic properties. The chair's flat, a certain height off the floor, and so on. And once ASIMO's got it, he is to nod. We then showed it an office stool. Now we can see it's a type of chair. But it's nothing like the shape of the first one. So, will ASIMO recognise it as a chair? So he's nodding, saying yes, he recognises that as a chair?
Yeah.
And just to make sure it wasn't cheating, I got them to show it a table and ask if that was a chair. It's not fooled.
Yeah. You saw?
Yeah.
Shaking.
That's very good. Hold on a minute. What you've just seen is a machine making a judgment. ASIMO's identified an object it's never seen before by recognising its features and working out that these qualify it as a chair. This is an interpretative skill at a very, very basic level, but it is that rather than mere recognition. It's not shapes and slots again, it's a bit of thought.
Hello everyone,